since their inception, has seen a lot of firsts in the industry kind of approach. None of them can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Madhu Nair.
Good afternoon, friends from the media and press. लोग मुझे बोलते हैं कि you do a lot of hard work in reaching out to the entire India and spreading the news of mutual fund सही है, mutual fund सही है. But let me tell you, you guys do equal hard work in spreading the news जो हमारे यहाँ पे बनती है और जो आप disseminate करते हो to each and every person in our country. So thank you so much for joining us today. पहले मैं मेरा introduction देना चाहूँगी. My name is Madhu Nair. I'm a chartered accountant by qualification. I belong to a lower middle class family in Assam. Born brought up in Guwahati, Assam, and have worked with companies like NFOs, UTI, and lastly with Edelweiss. I was the youngest CFO there of the ARC vertical. And 2014 is when me and Mahavi thought, let's start a financial services conglomerate where it's not just about any other financial house, but it's also about the kind of impact. So I always believe, and I always repeat this, that each and every entrepreneur, each and every company in India, जब भी आप business start करते हो, you should always think कि business में profits तो कमाने हैं, right? We are not here for charity, but at the same time, we must think of the kind of contribution we as entrepreneurs or as intermediaries can make in this industry. So coming to the leadership at the Well Company, as you can see, we have 3 IAS officers, 1 IRS officer. I'd like to introduce Mr. Ram Singh Sarma. Sarma sir was tri-chairman. Sarma sir was the one who implemented Aadhaar and the one who implemented COVID as well. And he was also chairman of OADC network. Second, we have Mr. Hemant Bhargav. Bhargav sir was 37 years with only one institution, which is LIC of India. He retired as chairman and managing director of LIC, and he is on our board as well as on the board of ITC Limited. We also have from the debt side, because MF, we introduce sort of debt products. We have Atul Joshi sir with us. Atul sir has worked with Fitch India as well as Sri Lanka. He has been the MD and CEO there. One more from the IS side, we have Mr. K.K. Jalan. Jalan sir was former Secretary of SME, Government of India, and the entire PF rules which you see today implemented in our country has been implemented under his leadership. From the female side, we have Rashmi ma'am. Rashmi ma'am, again, is an IS officer, has worked with the PMO, Defense Ministry, Finance Ministry, as well as GST and Textile Ministry. From the taxation side, we have an IRS officer, Dr. L.C. Jain, and these people represent the trustee board as well as the AMC board. Now let's talk about some, as you have heard many times, these views keep coming all the time, that first you wait. But let me tell you, this is not the only first at our organization. We have many firsts to our credit. And I start with the personal first. So I'm the first female, I rather not female, first one to get educated in my entire family. Second, I'm again the first one to get the First Lady Candidate Award in the CA Foundation. Our company की बात करते हैं. So as you would see, this is the first AMC which is founded by a female. But I'm also pleased to inform you, my CIO is also a female. My compliance officer is also a female, and in the board also you saw the representation of Rashmi ma'am and a very powerful female. Second, we are also the first in this country to launch NFO on the OADC platform. Third, we are also the first AMC in the country to launch 4 active products at the same time. And I'm sure the list of firsts will go on and on. I'll speak about the ethical fund, which is also the first of its kind in this industry in some time. So let me introduce my team now. So this is the core leadership team of the group. We have with us, and I request each one whenever I speak the name to please stand up and give your greetings. So we have Mr. Devashish Mohanty with us. Mohanty sir has spent 37 years into the mutual fund industry only. He was heading UTI in his last avatar. He is with us as the Chief Strategy Officer. Our Deputy CEO is Prasanna Pathak. Prasanna was CEO of Taurus Mutual Fund. He has worked with Franklin Templeton, UTI Mutual Fund, and many other mutual funds earlier. Our CIO, Aparna Shankar. She has spent 37 years again in this industry, 33 years in this industry, 15 years with UTI Mutual Fund, and 17 years with SBI Mutual Fund. BY sir, the most important person in this room. Life is all about customer service. So he will be heading customer service here. He has done so in Nippon, he has done so in 361, and has done so in White Oak as well. That side, to manage our liquid arbitrage and other products, we have Umesh Sharma. Umesh has worked with Franklin Templeton for 14 years, and before that he was part of JM as well as ICICI. Suji is not here today, but she is our Chief Compliance Officer, heading all the compliances of the group. So let me talk to you a brief about what are the 4 funds we are launching. As you can make out, we are launching FlexiCap fund. And why FlexiCap? Because it gives you a lot of agility to the fund management team to maneuver between different cycles. Because sometimes the large cap will do well, sometimes the mid cap, or a combination of both, or sometimes small cap will be the one from where you try to generate the alpha. So these 3 you can hover around only when you have a flexi cap and not a multi cap. Because multi cap you have rigid. It's a kind of a little rigid category where SEBI has defined the percentage which have to be put in the scheme. So here Aparna would have the flexibility to move between different market caps. Second, liquid and arbitrage product for our corporate clients and for those investors who want liquidity in their portfolio. They generally use arbitrage products if the duration is more than 6 months, and less than 6 months you can use liquid products. So those are the products which helps you in your systematic SIPs as well. And fourth, which is very close to my heart, I'm with Jen, and in Genesis we have this Panch Mahavrat, which Lord Mahavir had written down the principles in our agamas, and these principles are contained in this 5 Mahavrat from. So Mahavrat means 5 principles, and on that principles only, we have laid down the foundation of our ethical fund. Our ethical fund won't invest in animal killing, won't invest in gambling, won't invest in tobacco, won't invest in alcohol. Right? So these are some of the sin industries where we don't want to invest in. इनको छोड़ के भी let me tell you, people tell me, मधु बहुत restrict तो नहीं कर रही हो, but let me tell you, the universe is so big. Our listed universe of companies which does not fall into these categories is definitely very, very big, where we believe it is able to generate the kind of alpha we are targeting. And all these 4 NFOs have started from today and will finish on 8th of October. So this is about the group, about me and the funds. Now I'll take you through a very innovative concept. So while they put up on the screen, let me tell you what is MFDB all about. So see, females, we are 50% in numbers. अब आप कुछ देर के लिए भूल जाइए कि आप बॉम्बे में हो. Think of if you are in Ranchi. Think of if you are in Kanpur. Think of if you are in Nasik, right? So wherever you have these B30 towns, what gap we are seeing there today? We are seeing that females are not able to spend the time they need to in 9 to 5 jobs, because traditionally females have been bestowed with additional responsibilities of children or home or kitchen, so on and so forth. So what is this initiative? This initiative is all about making those females who are graduates and have an active internet connection and are good in communicating, Hindi, English, whichever language, doesn't matter. They should know how to just communicate. We are giving them fully sponsored training of mutual fund distribution training, helping them pass NISM 5A, Then next is what we are giving them sales training, because any business, the first and foremost thing we require is how to sell. Sales training we are giving them. Then we are giving them lead generation. So we have an entity in our group where we all generate leads. Right? Sales is not about cold calling nowadays, but generating verified, intelligent leads. So we help them through our lead generation entity. We help them to pin code wise leads, so that these leads will go and sell mutual fund. They will distribute mutual fund to these clients. And fourth, what we have beautifully done to complete the entire loop in each and every city. For example, if you go to Ahmedabad, we have around 6 NFDD mentors. If you go to Bangalore, again we have there are 8 NFDD mentors. You go to Guwahati, you go to Bhubaneswar, Patna, any city, you go there, each of the NFDDs. So for example, an NFDD based out of Patna can reach out to all the mutual fund DD mentors based out of Patna, and will get few hours of practical training in how to handle client rejection, how to handle client portfolio, and basically how to translate in savings into investments. So this is the kind of movement we are running, and I am pleased to inform you more than 1200 DDs have already registered. We just put holdings in 10 cities in this country. All more than 1200 DDs have registered, and by 10th of October, they will be the first lot will appear for their exams. Their trainees have already started since yesterday, and the personal goal which I have given to each one of them is they start making some money before Diwali this year. So this is the unique concept which we have launched to ensure this will solve two problems. First, the number of distributors in this country is very, very less. Right? We have active distribution number is less than 50,000 today. So this will solve that problem of having more number of distributors, because then only the penetration of mutual fund, which is less than 5% today in India, will increase. And second, giving wings to these women so that they can earn, they can have flexible working hours, they can become entrepreneurs, and they can help upliftment of their community. This beautiful things which we have done. With that I am done. I would request few of my colleagues to come and speak a few words. We'll start with Aparna Shankar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madhu, for that wonderful introduction, and MFDD project for reaching out to tier 2, tier 3 cities. As Madhu mentioned, I have spent almost 35 years in the mutual fund industry. When I joined Unit Trust of India, there were only 5 mutual funds, and when I left SBI Mutual Fund 6 months back, there are almost 50 now. I feel this growth is very low, because in 35 years it has become just 10 times. We will look forward to have more competition, because competition is very good and helps the consumers. In here it is investors which will have better options, better services offered to them. So when I joined the wealth company, my major responsibility here is to build the investment team and set the investment philosophy. As I think most of you would know that SBI Mutual Fund was known for its fundamental research, high conviction stock picking, and bottom-up stock selection. For over many years, that has what has ingrained in me. That is what I bring to the group, and the group has invested in more tech-enabled businesses. That's the strength which the group has. So now our investment philosophy is a fusion of two things: the core strength of a tech-enabled business or the backbone of the tech initiatives of the group, and my fundamental approach towards investment. So I think if you have the slide for the change. We also brainstorm about how do we go about building the investment philosophy. And we realized that we should not confuse the investors more. We should keep it very simple. And that's how we have refined our investment philosophy to go to a very base level. Sorry for that. Yeah. So our investment philosophy is a dual engine of two pillars, which is change plus age. Now this investment philosophy will be organizational level philosophy. So that brings the sustainability and longevity to the philosophy, because everyone in our investment team will follow the same philosophy, whether they are there in next few years or not. So this is what the organization will stay, and the investment philosophy will stay with the organization. So when I say change, we have attached an important factor to every alphabet of that change. And you would know, or you will believe, that change is the only constant. When I started my management funds, I think that time buy and hold strategy was in a style. But if you look at last few years, if we have followed the same strategy, it was a disaster, and our funds would have really underperformed the benchmark. So as the environment is changing, we also need to change. And as post-COVID, the era and the changes have become so frequent and so fast that the businesses are getting disrupted very soon. So you have to be very agile when you are constructing a portfolio, agile when you are constructing a portfolio, agile when you are monitoring the portfolio. I think that is what we bring to the investors, that we believe that change is the only constant, and our investment philosophy is based on this change. The change C stands for the capable management. Unless and until the management is capable, the business may not have a long-term growth or maybe a sustainable growth. So management is the most important factor for us while investing in any group. Then the H, historical performance, how the company has done historically, operationally and financially, what leads us to believe, have confidence in the company's future growth. Then the attractive valuation. When you are entering or investing at a reasonably right price, the probability of generating better returns for the investor is high. Then the navigation. Navigating the company and the business across multiple cycles is very important, because what we have seen pre-COVID times and post-COVID times, the companies, the businesses, the management, which were able to navigate the business across these time periods have survived and thrived. Then the governance. We will be investing as a minority shareholder and not a majority shareholder. We are not going to run the business. So it is important to see how the majority shareholders have treated minority shareholder in the past. And the E, earnings growth. I think it's always important to look how the company is going to grow in the next few years, and that's what reflects in the earnings growth. I think there are only two factors or two environments which help any stock to outperform. One is the earnings growth, another is the valuation growth. So what I spoke about change, they all relate to the internal factors which are more controllable by the management and the company. But there are also factors which are not in control of the management, which are more external factors or maybe macro factors. We have an overlay of age to our change philosophy. Here also we have attached an important factor to every alphabet of that word age, E, D, G, E. E stands for the exchange related factors, like what is the volume, what is the price change, what is the volatility. These are sort of tactical factors or technical factors to say. Then there is G. G stands for the global factors, and then the domestic factors also. The different interest rate regimes will have different set of companies to benefit. Or maybe when you are growing at a higher GDP rate, there are different companies which you should be investing. Or when there is a consolidation phase of GDP like what is happening currently, there are different set of companies which you should invest. And then the last E, which is the most important factor of this philosophy, is the exit or rebalancing. I don't want that kind of an inertia to set in our team. That is why the E or the exit is a part of our investment philosophy. So when we are entering in any stock, we are clear about the factors when we are going to exit this stock. This is something not which was prevalent in buy and hold. We just can't afford that kind of a relaxation or maybe inertia in our current investment strategies, and that's why this is the part and parcel of the investment philosophy. With this philosophy, we will, this is the kind of investment philosophy I talked about, and then there is an investment process which will help us to filter almost 5,500 plus companies which are listed now. Part of that, from 5,500 to 400, that means less than 10% of the companies will be filtered based on our in-house or with the group business which they have invested into, which is analyst AI. And from 400, we'll score the companies on multiple fundamental factors and technical factors to bring it down to more focused universe of 200. From these 200, we will select, then we'll wear investor or analyst hat and meet the management, do the due diligence, do the competitive analysis, and understand it better. And then we select few of these companies, maybe in the range of 35 to 45 number of stocks, to construct the portfolio. When I talk about FlexiCap, how is it different is that when we're kind of deciding which scheme to launch first, and how we decided about FlexiCap, and how we can differentiate among others is that what we play or focus on. So there are almost 39 different FlexiCap funds. What we realized that they are largely positioned into large cap. So there is little differentiation between large cap fund and a FlexiCap fund. But in the last few years, mid and small cap have also done better. So somehow we feel that the industry lost the opportunity to generate better returns for the investors by using the flexibility of the FlexiCap fund by switching between different market cap categories. We feel we are learned from their maybe flaws, maybe they are not the mistakes, but what is that our learning is more important. And we feel that we can do that with a better agility, switching between different market cap categories and taking advantage of different investment opportunities emerging from different market caps. So that is one thing. Another thing what we observe is that almost all the funds have 60 plus stocks. And whatever I have, more than a decade of my fund management experience has helped me to understand that unless and until you size up your position in the high conviction stock, your outperformance is very, it just stays as a dream. So when you are looking for, doing better than many other funds, you need to have high conviction ideas and you need to put more weight behind those high conviction ideas. I think that's where we will also differentiate. Our fund will be optimally diversified. In a sense, it will have 35 to 45 number of stocks depending upon the opportunities. It will be high conviction, bottom-up stock picking selection, and sector agnostic fund. I think that's broadly the philosophy and what we will be managing our FlexiCap portfolio. And my whole team is here. I'm available for any questions if you have post this session. Thank you so much.
Can you please have a better round of applause for both Aparna as well as